The thorough analysis of the origin of species. Lesson 30. Charles Darwin is an Isaac Newton in biology. Under a scientific point of view and as leading to further investigation, but little advantage is gained by believing that new forms are suddenly developed in an inexplicable manner from old and widely different forms over the old belief in the creation of species from the dust of the earth. Little advantage is gained over the old belief in the creation of species from the dust of the earth. This is not a direct speech that species were developed from the dust of the earth, but is to point out human beings' limitation of the imaginative power and the short-sightedness of naturalists who believe blindly in separate creation. I believe that animals are descended from at most only 4 or 5 progenitors and plants from an equal or lesser. Organic beings are classified according to phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Charles Darwin had never mentioned about or beyond family. He always looked down into genus below. He infers that the minimum number of species would be 4 or 5. This means that, though he could not venture to say that it is certain, there might be more original forms because they disappeared in the process of extermination. This speech is the proclamation of a great scholar who looked into the 4 corners of the world. This 4 or 5 is the starting point of species and coincides well with Genesis chapter 1, phrase 25. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Perceiving the limitation of his ability, here he steps against the window of the creation, but evolutionists' contention is beyond the category of organic being, and their process of thinking is expanded to the region of inorganic being and even to Big Bang. They assert that Big Bang is the starting point of the whole production in the universe, and they bundle all kinds of variations up in a package of chemical evolution. Evolutionists' assertion that everything started from one point goes directly against Charles Darwin's principle that there would be some classes. The evolutionists' unguarded point consists in passing over Charles Darwin's fact that there are minimum 4 or 5 progenitors in the kingdom of animal and an equal or lesser in the kingdom of plant. Evolutionists to have made such mistakes say that Charles Darwin is the originator of denying the creation and that the creation should be discarded. Charles Darwin did not know what chemical evolution is. The concept of chemical evolution, which is parasitical and dogmatic, has nothing to do with Charles Darwin's evolution theory. Evolutionists, not knowing accurately the implication of the word evolution by Charles Darwin, used it in order to deny the creation. A new variety raised by man will be a more important and interesting subject for study than one more species added to the infinitude of already recorded species, our classifications will come to be, as far as they can be so made, genealogies, and will then truly give what may be called the plan of creation. He places his hope on systematic classification. It's because the plan of the creation could be known to general public when classification would have been completed. But he says we cannot deny the creation with our reasoning power because the starting point of family tree is out of the domain of a human being and classification cannot be completed eternally. If classification is accomplished, we can understand what original species is, but the completion of classification is impossible forever because currently we can observe only the varied and cannot affirm the original forms. He absolutely was positive as to the evolution, that is, natural selection, and the fact of the creation. Charles Darwin finishes the origin of species as follows. There is grandeur in this view of life, with its several powers having been originally breathed by the Creator into a few forms or into one, and that whilst this planet has gone cycling on according to the fixed law of gravity, from so simple a beginning endless forms, most beautiful and most wonderful, have been and are being evolved. This sentence is too long to understand. Removing is the existential qualifiers to simplify. It is as follows. There is grandeur in view of life that the Creator originally breathed into a form and it has evolved from a simple beginning. This involves Genesis chapter 2, phrase 7. The Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Charles Darwin lowers the curtain of the origin of species with the scriptural phrase. Today's lecture ends here. Shalom.